The signing of a £30 million speedster by Liverpool might not make much sense for the club. The successful transfer swap deal between Liverpool and Wolves that could break the internet. Liverpool's chance to sign a £150 million striker could come at the end of the summer, according to Fabrizio Romano. Welcome, my fellow Red supporter. Let's dive into today's updates. The potential arrival of Jeremy Frimpong at Liverpool doesn't seem to make much sense, according to journalist David Lynch. In a recent statement to Sportsmole, Lynch expressed skepticism about the Bayer Leverkusen player's fit within the current Reds squad. News of Trent Alexander-Arnold's intention to leave Liverpool at the end of his contract, likely heading to Real Madrid on June 30th, caused a stir among fans. For a day or two, attention shifted from the Premier League title celebrations, as expected when such a beloved figure is involved. Still, like with any player, Trent's departure will be absorbed by the club, which will continue striving for silverware. Among the good news, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, considered by many the best forward and defender in modern Premier League history, are expected to remain at Anfield for at least 2 more seasons. This brings stability and leadership to the team, especially during the transition under new manager Arne Slot. Slot, in turn, has ambitious plans to revamp and strengthen the squad, with a particular focus on the fullback positions. Connor Bradley appears to be the natural replacement for Alexander-Arnold, while Milos Kerkez is seen as a likely replacement for Kostas Tsimikas. However, the idea of signing Frimpong has sparked debate. The 24-year-old, who stood out at Leverkusen with 4 goals and 12 assists this season, is described by Lynch as not a traditional right-back, but more of an attacking wing-back, something that might not align with Liverpool's current tactical needs. Lynch also referenced a comment from David Ornstein, who stated that Frimpong could be available for a reasonable fee and has shown interest in joining the Reds. Even so, Lynch believes this doesn't necessarily mean the club is interested. When you have someone like Connor Bradley, who has already shown he can wear this shirt confidently, would Frimpong really want to come and sit on the bench? I have my doubts about this speculation, he remarked. Meanwhile, Liverpool is moving on other fronts. Goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili is expected to reinforce the squad, while forward Federico Chiesa may leave the club after failing to secure enough playing time since his rapid arrival at Anfield. With so many changes looming and big decisions to be made, the fan base finds itself in a moment of reflection and anticipation. And you, Liverpool fan, do you think Jeremy Frimpong would be a good signing? Or should the club focus on other options more in line with its playing style? According to The Telegraph, Liverpool under Arne Slot is interested in signing Wolverhampton left-back Rayan Ait-Nouri. Valued at around £50 million, the Algerian player is also attracting interest from Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, suggesting a tough battle for his signature. Ait-Nouri, 23, has solid Premier League experience and qualities that suit Slot's attacking style. He contributes both offensively and defensively with consistent tactical discipline. A product of Paris FC and later Angers, the fullback moved to Wolves and has now made 151 appearances and scored 12 goals. Liverpool sees his arrival as a way to increase competition on the left side and provide an alternative to Andy Robertson, who had a quiet season. Moreover, with Ait-Nouri's contract expiring in June next year and renewal talks stalled, Wolves may be forced to sell him either in this window or in January to avoid losing him for free. This could clear the way for the Reds to make a move, especially if the deal for Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth falls through. Another name involved in speculation is Harvey Elliott. Despite a promising start at Liverpool, the 22-year-old seems to have stalled. With limited starts, mainly due to playing in a position dominated by Mohamed Salah, his development has been restricted. Since joining from Fulham and enjoying a successful loan spell at Blackburn Rovers, Elliott has made 144 appearances and scored 14 goals for Liverpool, 4 of them this season. However, his lack of minutes could lead him to seek a fresh start to regain confidence and prominence. According to Give Me Sport, Wolves are willing to make a record £45 million offer for Elliott, seeing him as a player who can elevate the squad's quality. Also, with Matthias Cunha potentially leaving, the club needs offensive reinforcements. In this context, a swap deal involving Ait-Nouri and Elliott, plus cash, is being considered a win-win for both clubs. For Liverpool, it would be a chance to secure a young, promising left-back already adapted to English football. For Wolves, Elliott would have space to play regularly as a starter, and finally showcase his full potential. And you, Liverpool fan, would you support a swap involving Harvey Elliott for Rayan Ait-Nouri? Do you think this move would strengthen the Reds' squad? If Liverpool manages to sign Alexander Isak this summer, it could be the most impactful transfer since Virgil van Dijk's arrival in 2018. At that time, the defender cost £75 million and became a cornerstone of Jurgen Klopp's successful era. Now, with Arne Slot taking charge, the Reds are seeking a new marquee name to launch a fresh competitive cycle, and Isak could be that player. The 25-year-old Swedish striker is Newcastle United's top star. Under contract until 2028, he's considered untouchable, but the club's financial and sporting reality may force a change. Newcastle is racing to finish in the Premier League top 4 to qualify for the next Champions League. If they fail, keeping Isak at St. James's Park could become unfeasible, especially if he expresses a desire for a new challenge. The estimated fee to lure him from the club is around £150 million. If finalized, the transfer would not only make Isak Liverpool's most expensive signing ever, but also the costliest in Premier League history, assuming he stays in England. For Liverpool, it would be one of the boldest moves of the modern era and a clear statement of intent. Liverpool's search for a new number 9 is no secret. The £85 million signing of Darwin Núñez in 2022 didn't yield the expected results, and the club is now seriously considering selling him during this window. While not yet official, his departure is seen as likely, though Liverpool will probably struggle to recover the full amount spent. Additionally, the club failed to land Moises Caicedo last summer, despite offering around £110 million. Chelsea outbid them, paying a staggering £115 million. These episodes show Liverpool's willingness to spend heavily, if the right player becomes available. And Isak seems to fit the bill perfectly. According to journalist Fabrizio Romano, there is indeed real interest from Liverpool in the striker. However, he warns that everything will depend on the club's finances and the timing of the deal. The dream is Isak, but it's very, very difficult. This will only be decided at the end of the summer based on the budget, Romano said. The squad Arne Slot will inherit still needs several adjustments. With the possible exit of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who could leave for free, the Reds would need to invest in multiple positions. Even if the right-back is sold for a significant fee to La Liga, finding a suitable replacement will be a complex task. Despite financial challenges and fierce competition, the potential arrival of Alexander Isak excites Liverpool fans. Alongside Salah, he could form one of Europe's most dangerous duos, combining for 61 goals and 34 assists in the Premier League. With Isak leading the line, Salah on the right, and Diaz or Gakpo on the left, Arne Slot's team would boast a high-level attacking trio. Interest in the Swede highlights the Reds' ambition in this new phase, but the realization of this dream will depend on the budget and the club's negotiation skills. Thank you so much for watching until the end. See you next time.